Confronting the Shadows. How to Emerge Victorious in Your Battles Against the Darkness Within. By Damian Stone. Introduction by the author. Hello, my name is Damian Stone, and I'd like to personally welcome you to Confronting the Shadows. How to Emerge Victorious in Your Battles Against the Darkness Within. If you're holding this audiobook in your hands, or listening to it right now, then you're likely on a quest for answers. Maybe you've been struggling with that heavy sense of loneliness, or you've been caught in a cycle of self-doubt you just can't shake. Let me assure you, you're not alone. I've been there, and that's exactly why I wrote this book. In my 20s, I found myself wrestling with an invisible enemy that seemed determined to hold me back. Outwardly, I was the guy who had it all figured out. Steady job, decent relationships, a passable sense of humor. But behind that facade, anxiety and unresolved pain were chipping away at my confidence. My default setting was to power through everything. If I felt anxious, I'd bury it under more work. If a relationship conflict arose, I'd sweep it under the rug and pretend it wasn't a big deal. Over time, those repressed emotions built up like a pressure cooker, and I reached a breaking point. Insomnia, panic attacks, and a growing sense that I was fundamentally failing at life. One night, after a pretty jarring anxiety episode, I realized I couldn't keep fighting this silent war on my own. I sought help from a counselor, which was admittedly uncomfortable at first. I didn't want to talk about my childhood wounds or own up to the fact that I wasn't as invincible as I'd tried to appear. But slowly, I started piecing my life back together. I learned about triggers, how the smallest comment could evoke a surge of anger or shame if it echoed old hurts I'd never dealt with. I discovered the power of vulnerability. Opening up to a close friend about my fears was strangely liberating rather than humiliating. And perhaps most importantly, I realized that my true strength lay not in denying my struggles, but in confronting them head-on. As the weeks turned into months, I found myself leaning on a core set of strategies, routines that grounded me, tools to manage overwhelming emotions, and a newfound willingness to ask for help. Even my relationship with exercise evolved. It became less about impressing others and more about caring for my mental health. Day by day, I regained a sense of control and clarity. I learned that inner peace doesn't just happen. You have to fight for it. And yes, sometimes that means admitting you can't.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?